Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about alopecia. Well, let me
Okay.
introduce you and stuff. Okay, so this is Denise with Christopher Anthony's Premium Raw Virgin Hair. And today I am speaking to my sister Penelope about alopecia. So, Penelope, nice wig. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
This is
I
my
bought this
Kamala
from,
Harris look. What do you
I
think?
bought this from Christopher Anthony.
I love it. I'm thinking of getting mine
Yeah.
cut that short. Yeah. I had gotten it
I
cut,
like
but I think I
yours.
want it shorter.
Yeah,
So,
that is the Kamala Harris look for
yeah,
the
it's like
day.
the Kamala Harris, right? I love it. I
Mhm.
love it.
Yeah, it's really cute.
So, so a lot of women suffer with alopecia. It's something I'm learning
Mhm.
that there's so many women out there who they'll send us, emails or text or whatever saying, I have no hair. I've been wearing these crappy wigs and I'm just really looking for real hair,
Mhm.
unprocessed, whatever that'll last me a long time that doesn't look like I'm wearing a fake wig.
Mhm.
Um, so the first question I'm going to ask you is when did you first find out that you had alopecia? How did it start?
It started with a lot of itching in my hair, in my head. And so I just assumed it was dandruff. So I just kept scratching and then scratching it to the point where it was really sore. So I
Oh,
would say probably about when I had just turned, I think I had just turned 50, 49, 50 when it really started. And
wow.
at that time I had put in, I was perming my hair and it was really getting bad. It was really itching like crazy. So I found a salon that does natural hair. And the lady there actually, the salon, the stylist, she introduced me to Sister Locks. So I said, okay, I'll try the Sister Locks because she said, all the weaves are probably wearing your hair down. So I went ahead and put in Sister Locks. So I put in the Sister Locks and it lasted, I said for a good 2 years. But I noticed that Sister Locks was receding. So I kept thinking, oh, the Sister Locks are getting heavy. So they're weighing my hair down. So the front of the frontal part of my hair started to recede even further back. So I had
Oh,
no hairline. I have hairline on the sides, but just right here in the front, it was nothing there. It just kept receding. So I found this other stylist because you're always meeting them in the salons, and she recommended that I go to what's the name of that company? It's a hair loss company for men,
hair
and
club?
yes, and it's very famous. So I went to Hair Club, and they did the testing and all of that of my scalp. And then before that, I actually went to a dermatologist to find out why I was having those issues. And I was told that because of perming and the constant tugging on my hair, that my hair will not grow back in those spots. So I was like, oh God, what am I supposed to do now? So then I went to Hair Club. I saw that online. I was like, oh, Hair Club for men, and then the young lady I spoke to at the salon was talking about it also. And she said, no, women go there. So I said, okay, made an appointment. I went. And when I went to Hair Club, they actually put you under this light to see if it will work. And, they check your scalp. And then based on what my dermatologist also told them, they said, oh, we can see that there's no follicles that is going to grow back in that area. So based on that, I cut all my sister locks off. So I
Mm,
cut every single strand off. And all I had at the time was just like maybe a fist like this. Let me put it up. Like a
mhm.
fist of a bald spot. It was just right here, just right here.
Okay.
But then as the years went by, are you talking about 11 years now? As the 11, 12 years, as those years went by, I noticed my hair was just getting less and less and less. There'll
Oh,
still be a little bit of hair growing there that's
mhm.
just spiking, but it's not coming out fully enough. So that's when I decided that, I have to try and do something else. So what the hair club suggested was to go with what they had at the time. They call it a cap. So
Mhm.
the cap is similar to a wig, but they style it and do everything like that for you, but you have to actually glue the cap on. So now I think they have other systems where you don't have to do that. You can just put it on. It lasts for a couple of days. It's just self-glue, and it's supposed to protect your scalp even more. So I've noticed a lot of that online, And Hair Club didn't offer that, so I kind of stopped going to them for a while and just started using a regular stylist that used the caps, but you have to glue it on just to cover the front. Just crazy.
And how much does that cost?
Okay, if you from Hair Club, it's just for that cap, you're looking at $1,200, 12 to 14. Because if you get the length that I have now, you're looking at $1,400 every quarter, so every 4 months. If you just get the cap, which is 11 inches, then that's they still charge you the same, but they gave me a discount because I was, I guess, a regular customer, so I still paid like 1,200 versus the 14. So the 8 inches would just be right here. And then besides from that, you don't just go get hair from Hair Club, you have to join the club. So to join the club, the plan that I chose that I could afford was $4,000 a year.
Oh my
You
God.
paid them $4,800 and something a year, and then you paid for the hair. So every quarter you paid the 12 to 1,500 based on the length that you want at that time, and then every year you had to pay your 4,000. So you could either pay it up front, or you can pay it in increments every 4 months along with purchasing your hair. So that's how I did it at first. I paid it in increments every 4 months.
Wow. So we should have started this hair business years ago.
Yeah, because really it's very discouraging for women because you don't know what to actually wear and what to do and who can assist you. Then you go to a salon and you want privacy, but there's no such thing. So everybody's looking at you like, oh my God, she must have a disease or something. But it's just something that's really natural. You lose your hair like men lose their hair. But because it's women, no one really talks about it a lot. And with the weaves and wigs coming out, then you have options. So nobody's really saying, well, I have alopecia, because it's something that's not spoken in the real world when it comes to most women. Because I mean, really think about it. You're walking around with half a head of hair. Nobody's really gonna look at you and say, oh, that's a pretty young lady. Nobody's doing that. So it's kind of like a shame against you. But going to Hair Club, what I must say, they have a lot of children with alopecia. So what Hair Club does, they actually give them the hair free, and they will do their hair, I guess every month or so, the kids will come in and get their hair done. I never knew children could have alopecia, but they do. So it's a lot of kids that come in there and get their hair done, and I guess that organization just does it for free and give them the free hair.
Yeah. And that's probably what they do with your fees, is take care of the ones who can't.
Take care of the ones that can't.
So in the end, it's not so bad.
Yeah, I think it's like donations.
Yeah, I think it's something that we want to do in the future. We want to be able to donate wigs to women who don't have your finances or whatever, who wouldn't be able to afford to do something like Hair Club, but who are walking around with just a little bit of hair on the top or on the side or whatever.
Right.
So that's something I think we want to do going forward in the future or whatever. So one of the questions I have is, what does that do to your confidence?
Well, it makes you feel like it isolates you, because it's like, where can you go with no hair? You don't want to go to a wig store and be buying those cheap wigs, and sometimes that's all you can afford. So you buy it and it looks like a wig. It's all shiny, it's wiggy. You don't want to always have a wig. And then if you're in the market looking for a significant other, you want to have a partner in your life or something. Men are so focused on hair. It's like they don't care what you wear. They just want to see hair. So a lot of women just go to the alternative of wearing these very long wigs and doing the most. But for me, it was like an isolation period, because it's like, okay, what do you wear? So I wore a lot of hats, a lot of caps, that kind of stuff. And I don't go out a lot.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it did to me.
So as your family member, I must say that I never knew you had alopecia.
I know, because, I hide it so well.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I think you should talk about is why would you not tell your family? Or is it just is there is a certain amount of shame or something associated with
yes, it's a lot of shame, and it's like people looking at you like you really do have some type of issue, So if you just want to say, oh, today I'm not going to wear my hair, or I'm not going to put on a wig, and you feel kind of like, oh my God, everybody else in my family has hair. I don't want them to know my secret. That's a really big secret to women with no hair. So
Yeah.
it's like if you have committed a crime or something, so you're always in hiding, so you do everything secretly. Even when you go to the salon, you want the person to either come to your house or you
Hmm.
want to have a private room. You don't want to be out there with everybody else. So yeah, it's a walk of shame in a way. And until you have your hair looking right, sitting on your head the right way, a stylist that can actually do the work, it's like I can't even go out today. I can't even go to the clubs. I can't do this. I can't go do that. I can't hang out with my family because I have these issues. So yeah, it's a walk of shame because I
Yeah.
don't even think mommy knows that I have, so much hair that's missing. I've never told her. So
And
I never told
honestly,
anybody except for um, Petra because, she started the hair business and stuff. And she was telling me she was trying to get into helping women with hair loss. And I was like, oh, okay. So I let her in on my secret, you know. But no one else knows. I don't even, I think Simone might guess, but,
yeah. And which
yeah.
is because I think that maybe mommy has it a little bit. I mean, her hair is very thin.
Yeah, she has very thin hair, and I think maybe that was my problem too. My hair was so thin that everything was weighing it down and pulling out the follicles.
And then you were doing extra. You were doing weaves, you were doing the locks, and the locks. I have seen people's hair actually come out in their hands doing the locks.
That's right. The locks did pull out a lot of my hair, and I didn't think it would do that because locks is supposed to be a natural thing, but
Hmm.
it actually did. And I did. I think I started with um with adding hair to my hair to start the lock. So maybe maybe that does it. Like your hair is just naturally long. So if you started locks, you wouldn't have that issue where you have to add more hair. So
But I
yours
think
might
it
be
would,
different.
and one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this also is because I always had very thick hair. And now, I mean,
Mm,
so much of my hair comes out when I comb it, when I wash it, that's why I really don't manipulate it very much. There's so much
mhm.
hair on my brush and my fingers, I've tried all the different things. And so I wonder
Well,
if we all have a little bit of that.
yeah, yeah.
I went to a stylist once. I don't go to stylists very much because they never do what I want. I
Mm-hmm,
never walk
mm-hmm,
out of a hair salon happy. It's just the most ridiculous thing. The
mm-hmm,
last time I went to a stylist, paid her $115 because part of her service was just for a wash and set. Part of her
mm-hmm,
service was supposed to be a consultation. Well, she had
mm-hmm.
people before me, people after me, people waiting, and our conversation was so I was saying my hair has been falling out, what should I do? And she basically told me, you're getting old, that's what happens. you
I
know
know, because I went to a stylist the other day in Grayson for the same issue just to see, well, okay, my final go in and see. And she
Mm,
said, well, it looks like if we can really help you, we can help your hair to come back. And they have a product they call Revitalize.
uh-huh.
And for her to put that on my head and then she washed my hair with it and then she just put the wig back on. And she said, this is really supposed to help. I walked out of that salon paying 100 and change, and all she did was wash my hair, put on some kind of conditioner thing that's called Revitalize, and I paid her $100. And I'm like, I could have did that at home myself.
Exactly. And
But
there
you
are,
just always want somebody to tell you that yes, you'll be able to grow your hair
yeah,
back. I think that's one of the things too.
yeah.
And she claimed she was well versed and know how to put on caps and can really help people with alopecia. And but when I went in there, she said, "Oh, I don't really I don't know if I'm to glue it down on your actual head or if I should put a stocking cap on
Then
or
you
what
don't
I should
really
do."
know. Oh my
Yeah, because
goodness.
I've never, encountered. And I'm like, "Well, what are y'all selling?" So they tried to sell me a cap for again $1,400, and they claimed that they would glue it onto my hair. And I says, but I don't have any hair right there. So how would you glue it on? She said, oh, we've done this several times. And so I actually paid her the money, went and told Petra, who's in charge of, carving all hair, who has that company. And she said, why did you waste that money? Blah, blah, blah. They can't do anything for you. It's not going to grow back. So then I went back and got a refund. But, you know, this is how they get you because you really want to see some progress with something that's going to grow. But at my age, I don't think it's going to grow back. So I'm done.
And you look
I
great.
learned
You
my
look great.
lesson.
You look great
Well, thank you.
in the,
Thank you.
I mean, yeah. So, uh,
Yeah.